SHMACKEMAGOB, my friends. It is the 40th anniversary of this classic right here. Van Halen, Fair Warning. Now, this is so cool. Check this out. For those that don't know, I moved back to my childhood home. This was my bedroom when this album came out. I played this in this room for the very first time 40 years ago today because I was a first day buyer. Huge Van Halen fan. And the story behind it was I went to, I live on 38th Street. On 49th Street there used to be a record store. And I went the first day it was released. I went in there and they had a rack with the new releases. And I walk up to it and I'm like looking, I'm like, where's the new Van Halen? I don't see it. So I go up to the guy in the counter and I said, do you guys got the new Van Halen? He goes, yeah, it's right there in the new release rack. I was like, what? So I walk over there again. He's like, there, it's that one right there. And I'm like, where? I don't see it. And he kind of got a little frustrated, walked around the counter and pointed at this. And this is the same copy I bought that day. And I was like, what the hell is this? I would have never known. This is like a weird album cover. And the story behind this is that it's from a painting called The Maze that was done from a Canadian artist called William Kurlek, I believe that's how you, or Kurlek. And it was wild, but I remember, I mean, looking at the album, like, you look at some of these pictures, like this right here kind of resembles Mean Street. This guy looks like he's got one foot out the door. This guy's head is like hit the ground running. And so this is Love. And I don't know, Sinner Swing, I think, maybe. I don't know, it's just some weird shit, man. But so I come home here in this same room. I'll never forget the first time I put this on. I didn't like it. I thought, man, the only good song on here is Hear About It Later. That's the only song I liked off it. But then, you know, after listening more, I realized I was an idiot. This whole album is solid, amazing. Read the comments below. Most people think this is the best Van Halen album. I like Van Halen albums in order. My favorite's the first one, then the second one, then Women Showing First, then this one, then Diver Down, then 1984. Yes, I like Diver Down more than 1984. I love 1984. The six-pack is flawless to me. There's only one bad song in all the six-pack, and that would be the instrumental 1984, the beginning of that. I even like Jump. But I gotta say, this album's amazing. At the time, oh yeah, and by the way, this only sold over $2 million. It is the slowest selling Van Halen album of the Roth era in the 80s, which goes to show sales don't matter, does it? I mean, seriously, this one sold less than so many albums that suck. So that goes to show what we all fucking think of album sales if you got a brain. And oh, so I went and saw this tour. By the time I saw this tour, forget it. I was into this album. I loved it. And by the way, the only song that I liked, like I said, was Hear About It Later. And to this day, it's still my favorite song off here. I love every song off here, but Hear About It Later, there's something about that tune, man. So I go see this tour. I saw the Women and Children First tour, and it was the greatest show I ever saw in my life at that point, till I saw this tour. When I saw the 1981 tour, to this day, I've never seen a show as badass as the Fair Warning show. As much as I love the Diver Down and the 1984 tours, they were great too, but there was something special about this album and this tour. This album's dark. It does have some fun moments like Unchained and So This Is Love, but most of this album's dark. And you know, when I came home and I put it on, I can't believe I didn't like Mean Street the first time I put it on. I don't know why, but it just didn't grab me. Then the next track was Dirty Movies, and the way Dirty Movies starts, where Eddie's doing that, it sounds like he's making a million mistakes. Like it sounds sloppy and shit when he's doing that little intro thing. And I'm like, the fuck? And Sinner Swing didn't grab me. Hear About It Later really did. Unchained didn't. One Foot, what is it? Push Comes to Shove. My favorite guitar solo on the album is on that song. And what's the other one? So This Is Love. Sunday Afternoon in the Park. I found this out many years later, and there's only pictures of this, as you can see now. They made a video for Sunday Afternoon in the Park and One Foot Out the Door. And here's our pictures of it. Man, will this ever be released? It's like they're outdoors and big dinosaur behind it. It's just wild, man. So I saw the tour, and like I said, and I'm wearing right now a replica of that show. Believe it or not, I was kind of broke back then. I didn't buy a shirt, so I ended up getting a replica many years later. But I did buy a tour book. If I would have bought a shirt, it probably would be ratted out by now, just probably gone by now. Would have blown away in the wind by now. You know, it's 40 years. But I did buy this, and tour books are forever. And this is a really cool tour book, man. It has a, let me find that picture. There's a picture of a chick holding a plate of cocaine on the David Lee Roth page. But, man, and that tour was just, the way they opened the show with On Fire. There's the chick with Blow. And there's another, and then there's Pills. Very interesting. McDonald's hamburgers. Kind of like reminds me of the One More for the Road Leonard Skinner album, where you see McDonald's like flying through the crowd and stuff. Anyway, it's a great tour book, and it was the best show I ever saw in my life. And today is the 40th anniversary, and I was right here. I just moved back to this house a couple weeks ago, and I found out today's the 40th anniversary. I was like, man, 40 years ago today, I was sitting in this room blasting that album for the first time. This is my life, man. This is my youth. I haven't been here in 37 years. And I'm back, and I just found out 40 years ago is when I first heard this. I know I was the first day buyer. So, all hail Fair Warning, man. It is the shit. Anything else I want to say about this? I did make a video before talking about the Oakland show, where you see So This Is Love, Hear About It Later, and Unchained, where everybody's out there. That's the Holy Grail. Well, there's a Michael Anthony interview saying they only filmed those 3 songs. The whole show was not filmed, which is a shame, because looking at those videos, it does capture the magic I saw that night. You know, it was just, it was phenomenal. And I love Unchained, where he says, come on, Dave, give me a break. One break coming up. It took me years and years to realize when Dave says, one break coming up, the band goes, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It was a break. Genius. Oh my God, this album. All Van Halen albums from Dave, the 6-pack. Just phenomenal stuff. So, what do you all think of Fair Warning? I know a lot of comments down there are going to say that's their best album. Everybody thinks that. A lot, I mean, all the hardcores think that. Because it is a dark album. Eddie was very depressed making this album. And he was pissed. And it shows in his playing, man. There's a lot of aggression and darkness in Fair Warning. Amazing stuff. Anyway, thank you all for watching. If you like to donate, I got a PayPal below. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Alright, everybody, stay frosty and schmack 'em a gob.